No, I'm eating my sandwich, and I would appreciate it if you didn't. You know what? I'm turning around when I eat.
Gonna make the world a better place. Gonna make the world a better place. Gonna make the world a better place. Gonna make it home.
Hey yo, it's your boy. It's your boy. Welcome to Footprints and Blueprints. It's your boy.
Hello, guys.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2. This is what we do. This is what we do. 1 2. See your girl over there in all blue, all blue. She look fresh. Oh yeah, what you do. Hey, we sound good in here.
All right. Happy coffee break.
Happy coffee break.
Gotta put my glasses on.
Can you see?
Not really.
Shout out to the crew. It's Dr. Jeremy Cross.
It's Dr. Allie Cross.
Welcome to Footprints, the Blueprints. We back.
Hey, yo. All right. What's going on?
Man, just finished up a day at clinic.
Oh, tell us about yesterday.
So that was good. Oh, man.
But not too much. Just a little beep,
I
beep,
can't get
beep.
too much detail. Yesterday morning, did clinic as normal. And
Great morning. Great morning.
It was a great morning. Yeah. We were moving on all cylinders. The staff was working together collectively. We were treating our patients. There was good energy within the clinic. And we left for lunch. And typically we'll go pick up our daughters from school around 1 o'clock. That's when they get off. So we're driving to go pick up our kids. We're like, oh, we've left a little early. Let's go grab some lunch. And we're driving in the turning lane. All of a sudden,
Okay.
we were like, what just happened?
It wasn't that much, but
that's what it felt like. I thought you went over a curb.
We got in a car accident, which was really awful, and then had to cancel clinic, which just sucks. But
yeah,
everything's okay. A little bit of damage, whatever. But the staff, in that situation, it's hard because we have to cancel clinic, but the patients were really respectful and it was nice. But
I mean, it was scary.
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, but anyway.
Our child was scared because we went there to pick her up, and that stuff. It
just makes you realize how crazy life is and how much it can happen, and you don't know. And
it can be changed, right?
Anyway, so I was researching some things today, and I think it's funny because I don't know if you've heard this before, but how there's really funny laws in these different states. Do you know about these things? Have you ever heard about it?
Yeah, I've heard about it.
So I was researching it today, and I'm going to read you a couple, and I want to see what your response is.
Okay.
In the state of Hawaii, it is illegal for coins. They're not allowed to be placed in one's ears. Like, it's against the law.
My question is, why would you place a coin in your ear unless you're doing a magic trick?
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't understand you would do that. But I think, that's reasonable for me.
Yeah, this one I think you would appreciate.
Yeah.
In Maine, after January 14th, you will be charged a fine for having your Christmas decorations still up.
That wouldn't work in my household.
What are you talking about?
No, you're a year-round Christmas person.
Stop it.
Christmas lights are still in the house,
Whatever.
guys.
Minnesota, it's illegal to sleep naked.
I'm not going to comment on that.
You aren't going to go to Minnesota.
Couldn't live there.
Well, I was reading this to our staff, and she goes, well, how is that? How
would you know
How
that?
do you know that?
Like, you're like,
someone
dang.
calls the cops on you.
I saw you naked last night.
What?
I'm calling the cops.
Oh, my gosh.
They did.
That make me blush. Lord. New York. This one's a crazy one. Slippers are not to be worn after 10 p.m.
Why the 10 p.m. time frame?
In New York.
Yeah.
Maybe because you're supposed to be putting heels on after 10 p.m. to go around town?
Like house slippers?
I don't know. It just says slippers. I thought it was interesting.
See, that's too broad of a category for me because I'm like...
Well, and who's going to really...
Slippers?
I feel like New York has a lot more crime than to be dealing with pulling over people.
That might be why, though.
Because they're pulling over people with slippers?
Because they're like, if something happens, you can't run in the slippers.
Oh, maybe.
Like, you can't get out of that situation. Like, it's not my fault you got stabbed 3 times because you had slippers on. You couldn't run away.
Moccasins on.
Like, you had your chancletas on at 10 p.m. and thought you were going to get away from that armed robbery. Like, what are you doing? You need to have some sneakers on.
Oh, Lord.
Shout out to New York, man. Love it. We spent some time out there for our externships
Oh, yeah,
had
we did.
An amazing time. We were homeless for 2 weeks when
3
we did
weeks.
that.
Yeah.
3 weeks. Yeah.
That was scary.
Super scary.
We were trying to find housing when we were in San Francisco, when we were trying to be prepared, and we got our place, and then it was a scam.
Yeah.
And it fell through. And we literally lived in the hospital. We stayed at the hospital, and we were having to rent hotels every night. But I did learn in Manhattan, if you look after a certain point of time, like at 5 p.m., the hotels are cheaper. And if it's middle of the week, they're not cheap because of conferences
and stuff,
and
yeah.
weekends were actually cheaper than the middle of the week. It was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. This is a funny one. I want you to guess the state that this one could be.
Okay.
It is illegal to wear a fake mustache that causes laughter in church.
Texas.
No, kind of close though. Kind of south. It's in the south.
Florida?
No.
Okay. What do we got?
Alabama. Kind of see that.
Kind of, yeah. Kind of.
I could see in a Baptist church, they would be so mad.
Yeah.
Lord.
Totally.
Messing with the church.
Take them to church. Churches, please.
Anyway, whatever.
Well, good. I don't feel
Weird.
like those. I need to
Washington
follow-
did not poll up on any of those, but I probably could do some more research about that. I bet
Definitely.
you Washington has some funny ones.
Has some crazy weird law that you have to abide by.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be weird. Like, I don't know. You can't wear rain boots during the summer.
Oh, I don't. Rain boots, actually, to be honest, I've had a lot of patients come in with problems after wearing rain boots this fall. Have you had problems with that?
No, not really. I mean, people try to put their orthotics, which are the custom inserts, into their rain boots, and they have problems, but they haven't had any foot pathology. No.
Yeah, what do they get? Achilles tendonitis.
Yeah.
Because it's rubbing on the back, and they've had to essentially not wear their rain boots. But I mean, my rain boots, depending on which they are, they trigger my neuromas to hurt. And a neuroma is when you have pain in the ball of your foot, and it's like shooting, numbing pain. It feels like you're walking on a rock. But if you have too flat of shoes, sometimes it can cause pain. And my rain boots do that to me. But
yeah. It's important, right? I mean, so you have 5 toes. I'm using my fingers. These are not toes, but you have your big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, and you have nerves that go in between your toes, and they Y off. And what can happen is you have bones behind your toes that can rub the nerve tissue and cause inflammation.
I call them knuckles. The knuckles of the foot.
Does my nose flare when I do that? Knuckles.
Well, it moves because you moved your whole face.
But it causes inflammation and causes an aroma. And so, yeah, we see that a lot. You don't want to show people your feet because then they'll see your bunions. They'll be like, you're a foot doctor with bunions? It's weird.
Excuse me.
What?
You have bunions too.
I don't have a bunion.
Yes, you do. And you have Taylor's bunions.
Listen, that's a natural curve.
Oh,
on my
come
foot.
on.
It's not an actual bunion.
It's getting worse. Your toe is starting to move over.
I'm getting older. I'm getting older. That happens, right?
Yes.
I've been lucky enough though. I'm not bald and I haven't grayed completely yet.
Oh, tell that story.
Well,
oh, this is a funny
wig.
story. No, this is a funny story. So when we were in residency, you were trying to find a barber to cut your hair, a stylist to cut your hair.
Traumatized. So we moved to Ohio for
Oh
residency.
my God.
And you have to find a new barber. And that's challenging because some people don't cut black hair, and we weren't in a community where there were a ton of black people, even though we're in Ohio, but we weren't. If you're in Ohio,
we weren't in Cleveland.
We weren't in Cleveland. Yeah. And if you've ever been to Dayton, Ohio, it's totally one of those situations where it's like a cross the track thing where you're living in like, I don't know, Kettering or something where it's just, you're not going to find a bunch of black barbers. Anyways, found this nice dude. He was not black, but he said he could fade. So I went to go get a fade. And, I like to have funky haircuts. I feel like I like to go to more of a stylist than a barber. So I tried to explain to him how to cut my hair. Well, I had the hard part at the time. You guys remember I used to rock the hard part and the comb over. And so when he would cut the top of my hair, he didn't use a guard. And so it looked really nice. When you were looking at me up front, you're like, oh, that's a clean cut. But then you would turn and see the back, and he gave me the old man bald spot because he cut too close.
On the top. And You legit thought you were balding.
I did not know this. I thought I was balding. I was
and
heartbroken.
you were destroyed. Like destroyed. Like it was a rough couple of months because then you got it cut again and he did it again.
The reason is because I don't have the head type that can have a bald head.
No, but you were devastated.
I don't. Like some people have the head types.
You called my brother-in-law. You were like seriously needing to get some mental health stuff going. I mean, you were like, I'm stressed out, this residency, da 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 da. You legit thought you were balding.
Legit. And you know what? It didn't make
Nothing is
sense.
wrong with people balding, by the way.
Nothing is wrong with it. I was worried because my head is large, and you have to be able to admit that. Like when you have a head that's my size, it's a cross gene curse, and we all know it. Anyone that's related to me will be like, he's 100% right. We average around, when I go get hats, I'm wearing the size 8. Okay, that's close to you need a custom hat. There's no bigger size. Right, so it's hard when you're growing up as a kid and you want a baseball cap, and they're like, "Your head shouldn't be that bad."
Is you gave that head to our daughter.
To one of our daughters, I did, but our daughters are beautiful, and
She's had the same size head since she came out.
She did, and when she came out, like she was like, I was like, oh my God, I felt really bad inside. I was like, I cannot believe my wife just birthed a child that big. I mean, she was 21 inches, 9 pounds. 3 ounces, but she came out like a juggernaut. Beautiful little baby. Our beautiful
big
baby
cheeks.
girl.
The OB was like, "There's your cheeks, Jeremy."
Yeah, I was like, what is that? I was like, are you talking about these, baby? Which cheeks are you talking about? Yeah.
Those. She has
and she's got a little.
Oh, she's so beautiful.
She's got
anyway,
a butt from her
that was funny.
That was super funny. But good to know I'm not.
You're not balding.
I'm not
clearly.
balding. I am starting to get more gray, but with wisdom.
It's actually less gray to me. Or I don't know.
You can't see it as much because of the dreads.
You're keeping it shorter on the sides too.
I'm growing my dreads back. I had dreads before I decided to go back to medical school.
You cut them.
Felt I needed to cut my hair because I felt that I wasn't going to be able to be in a position to get accepted into certain schools.
Which is really sad. But
So
I think, it was the truth.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So I am now in the process of growing my hair back. And I feel like I'm in a place in my career where, you're going to either accept me for who I am or you're not. But it's taken a long time to feel comfortable getting to that place where you're like, you know what? I'm okay with me. Mm-hmm. And you may not be okay with me, but like I have to be okay with me. And if you're going to judge me because of my hairstyle, then you're not the type of person where this is going to work. Right? Because when you're seeing a patient, you're building a relationship. Mm-hmm. And it's always interesting because whenever I walk into the room, especially when people haven't seen me for the first time, it's like this. I'm like, because the eyes don't lie. The eyes don't lie at all. Yeah. Always. It's like a shocker.
And, yeah.
Oh, but they hit me with the like, oh, you're so young. I'm like, is that what you're really thinking? But I tell them all the time, I've just been fortunate to be blessed with good genes. Thank you, God. And I feel really honored and privileged to be a young Black provider, to be able to provide a platform where people who look like me know that they can do more than just be a rapper or a basketball player, even though I was a basketball player. And I dabbled in music a little bit, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just think that we have to know that there's other options, especially in my community. And so it's cool. I get to see young people who come in all the time and are like, oh, man, like, I've seen your Instagram or I've seen your videos or, I love the way the office is decorated or your style, right? Because you don't look like a typical doctor. And I'm like, I take that stuff as a compliment, I'm Dr. Jeremy Cross, and that's what makes me different, So it's been cool. But the hair is growing back. I can almost pony it. Dwight Tardy, if you're watching me, bro, I'm about to pony it back, bro. So you better be ready. The hair's getting long. That's my best friend. Shout out Dwight Tardy. What else is good?
Moving. House is moving. We're done with drywall and we're about to paint.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't know, all of you out there who either love it or hate it, but I'm not a big fan of painting. So we'll see how that goes. But everything is taped up right now and covered. And so we're kind of in this middle stage of, do we untape or continue keeping it up and taped so we can just get the paint job done? But
well, it's cool. And we ordered our floors.
That's exciting.
That was a really cool experience. We got to work with a company called Floor and Decor. Mm-hmm. And
they're great.
We were able to partner with them. And We've chosen our floors, and so you'll see a couple more reels that will drop on Instagram that will show the progression of our house project, which I think is really, really cool. And it's been great as we've continued to grow our brand from a creative aspect. When we started off, we were really focusing on doing, Instagram reels and the comedy side of what it's like to own a private practice. And so you guys got to see that. And now you're getting to see more of our like design, aesthetic. We're able to talk about some more serious topics and conversations, which I think is good because it gives you depth about who we are as people. And I think that was really hard when we were just doing reels. Like you saw us essentially acting, right? Which is great. Those things are fun. But we're at a point, I think, in our lives where we want people to know, what's wrong? Did the finger roll? You didn't like that? Why are you laughing at me?
Because I'm thinking about the Christmas reel and I just can't get it out of my head. Oh, God.
Man.
It's really funny.
The Christmas reel is crazy. I can't. So we were doing Christmas reels. I was dressing as Elf on the Shelf.
And this one was hard because we were like, this is a great idea. You're going to be Elf on the Shelf and it's going to be great and people are going to love it. But then it didn't go because of some law or whatever rules.
No, I mean, here's the thing. Like, that's the thing as a creative. You can create something and be like, oh, that's so awesome. It's all about your
We
audience.
were hyped up. We went and we got all the decorations. We were like, let's do it. We planned it out.
Yeah.
And it was
It was a process.
It didn't go.
From a creative process.
Which is hard because you're preparing and it's one of those things where it's kind of the whole thing is like you prepare and you do these reels that take a long time to create and edit and all of that. And then they don't blow or they don't go anywhere and they don't go viral. And you're like, this one's going to for sure go. And it doesn't go anywhere. You're like, wow, I got 10 likes. That's great. And then it's the ones that you spend 2 minutes on and you go in your pajamas in a donut store and it gets like 27 million views.
Yeah.
And it's like,
It's crazy. I mean, that's just a part of anything you create, though. And I think the lesson learned from that is to not be emotional.
yeah.
Right? I think just take the critique for what it is and then continue to grow your brand. But if you're attaching heightened emotion to like, oh, I went viral. This is awesome. Or, oh, I didn't go viral, right?
Yeah,
That's where social media
right,
becomes
right.
dangerous because then you're becoming dependent on that. And it was kind of like what you brought up to me this morning when you were talking about Jess King.
Yeah, shout out to Jess King. She's a
Yeah.
Peloton instructor and she's amazing.
So we like to ride the Peloton for exercise at the house. And so you were telling me that Jess King was like, if you're not on social media for...
It's okay to take a break.
Yeah, for a week, it's okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think like, oh, you've fallen off and you're not doing this. And you're like, have I fallen off or have I just been present in my life?
Right. What's the priority? I mean, you get so... Because when you're doing social media, it's not just like, hey, I'm posting a picture like what it used to be. Now you're like researching and there's songs and there's the trends and, it's a true game. I feel like it's a video game and you're playing this game and you can't, once you think you have it down, it changes. And so then you're back at the wheel of learning it again. And so it's a constant process and it does. You would go to work and you would come home and you would be on your phone for hours and then the girls would be like, Dad, get off your phone. And we would have to say, no, it's because Daddy's working, but that's not good either. And so you have kind of taken a sabbatical, honestly, as far as like you aren't posting as much, but it's not that you're not doing something as regarding media is concerned.
Yeah. Well, that's why you have footprints to blueprints. And the thing is, people don't know that you're doing those other projects.
Yeah.
They just think that you've been gone and you're no longer creating and, oh, this person may have fallen off. But it's like, maybe that person's working on another project.
Right.
Which takes time, right? And yes, I could show you every step of the way of that project, but it's also being smart and strategic about marketing and branding and when you're releasing that project to your audience. And so I'm in a place in my life where I'm okay taking a sabbatical. I'm okay knowing that, hey, if I don't post for 2 months, 3 months, a week, whatever you choose, that, yeah, I may not be gaining a following, but I'm building a relationship with my daughters. And the huge turning point for me was like when I started seeing my daughters and they have their play phones and they're like, oh, yeah, I'm dropping a reel.
Oh, yeah.
Like, hey, and I'm like, oh,
Lele
is that?
did that last week.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's really cool, but I don't want her to be dependent on how other people view her. I want her to have self-love and figure out self-care and all those things. I think when your child is exposed to that too young, then it's a vice that they go to
Well,
to
right,
have reassurance,
right,
and
right.
that is not what I want. So, yeah, it's been kind of a shift in our creative process, but I think that's okay, and I think that's what people have to be okay with. Like, yes, people are building their individual brands. Yes, people are using social media, and it can be a great platform. That's awesome, but also give people grace when they're taking the time to just be with family.
Can you move your feet?
Oh, now you want me to move my foot because you're not
Well, I
comfortable.
just feel like
And
you're all
bumping
up
my
in
foot
my
over?
space.
This is our space. I mean, I'll
know.
change my legs.
Do you guys ever realize or have that happen when you're at dinner and your partner
will not play footsie
has
with you
their
for
feet
$10.
like on your side of your bench and you can't move?
I intentionally try to play footsie with you when we're in a restaurant.
No, you don't. You don't even know where your feet are half the time.
I know. You're like, you're Kiki B. Stop.
Yes, and then you get mad at me because you think I'm nagging you.
I don't think so. I mean, you're not nagging me. Do we have a question of the day? I thought we did.
That's on my phone, but I don't have. Question of the day would be, let me think of a foot question. What do people really like to know? Please explain to me what you would say a diabetic foot is.
So you have people who are diabetic, whether that's type 1 or type 2 diabetic, and that disease process can cause a lot of things, but typically what we see in our field is we will see people who have either circulation issues, which means they don't have great blood flow to their feet or their lower extremities, or they'll have neurological issues.
So hold on. So the blood flow thing, the way that we see that visually and test it is we palpate their pulses.
Yeah.
There's two main pulses in the foot that we palpate. One is on the top of the foot and one is on the inside of the ankle. And then the other thing that I look for is hair on the toes, which a lot of people share or shave their toes because they don't like it. But it is actually a great sign for us to see whether or not the toes are getting blood flow. So if you have hair on your toes, it's a good sign that you're getting circulation. You may not like it aesthetically. We can usually tell if people are shaving it, but anyway.
Yeah. And then as far as nerves, you're able to test the nerve by doing certain tests. Your doctor will have something called a Sims-Weinstein monofilament. Almost looks like a fishing wire or something, but you're able to, touch and poke the toes to see if the patient has actual feeling.
Or there's the vibration test.
Or there's also, a tuning fork where you can check their vibratory sensation, because that's something that's typically lost when you start developing neurological issues. And so if you are experiencing the numbness, the tingling because of that disease process, and diabetes is not the only reason why you may have neurological issues to your lower extremities. I want to make that clear. But it's just important to make sure that you're, watching your feet.
The other thing that
looking at them
I
daily.
notice with a lot of diabetic patients, more so with I guess with neuropathy too, is dry feet, because the skin changes because the autonomic system is changing. So dry feet, that can also, people can have dry feet. That doesn't get better with lotion and thing, because there might be a level of athlete's foot too. But callousing. People who start to lose sensation in their feet, anybody can get callousing on their feet from just different pressure points, but it's really important for people with diabetes, or I guess really just neuropathy too, in combination, that those are monitored and make sure that they are taken care of, because those callousing areas can turn into the wounds that we all hear about. And those can be infection and things like that. So it's just good to check all your feet all daily.
And avoid walking barefoot.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
That's a
I
big
tell that
thing.
to everybody. That's just not my diabetic patients.
I agree. Absolutely. Seeing people who have had these diseases has really helped us to take ownership in our own health. That's really why we started growing our own vegetable garden, and why we got the chickens to have fresh eggs and stuff like that, because the processed food, really, let's call it what it is. I mean, diabetes, especially type 2, right? It's a processed food disease, and so it's important that you are monitoring what you're eating and understanding what can be turned into sugar.
Right.
Not
I think
that
that's
you're
the
just
big
eating
thing.
sugar. What can be turned
Yeah,
into sugar?
I think people just associate it with drinking juice and soda
Yeah.
and candy bars, and
Yeah.
that's not what it is. It's not all what it is. It's the carbohydrates that turn into the sugars. It's the
Right.
bread. It's the pasta. It's important that that all is monitored, and eating the right amount of vegetables, or just vegetables in general, because a lot of people don't eat vegetables. And fruit, you have to be in moderation, because you can't just eat a bunch of fruit. That's straight sugar. I mean,
Right.
that's a huge one. So for patients who are having troubles with regulating their sugars, we send them to specialists who manage that. They're called endocrinologists. And it's important that they have nutrition education. I mean, it's so much more than just a blood thing that they check on a daily basis. And now, actually, people are using the diabetic medications for weight loss, which is a huge concern for me as a doctor who we don't manage diabetes we don't manage the medications, but we have so many patients that are not able to get their medications because people are using it for weight loss. I had a patient yesterday.
Like Ozempic.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a patient yesterday who said he has not had his medications for over a month. His blood sugars have been ranging between 300 and 500.
And this is because people are using
He
it.
cannot get his medication because there's such a high demand, because the pharmacies are out of it.
Wow.
And he said the pharmacy is no longer filling prescriptions for people who are getting it for weight loss. And I think that's great. I mean, I understand that there is the weight loss thing. I do. I get how it is hard.
And people struggle with weight loss for different reasons.
But
thyroid issues,
diabetic patients who need these medications could die. I feel like a chicken pecking at the microphone.
Yeah, you went in on that.
Oh, don't go there. We don't need to go there again.
Control your mic, please. Control your
Anyway,
mic.
no, so it sucks, right? Because there's nothing we can do as providers, and it's as our level of provider, we don't prescribe that medication for weight loss. And so it's really just, I don't know, supporting
Take the
people.
medications that you need, right? Otherwise, it's like, if you don't need a medication, don't take it. I mean, that's just what it boils down to.
Well, it's hard because, I mean, it's hard. It's a hard situation. And unfortunately, the medications have been taken off label, and now the people who need it can't get it.
Yeah.
And that's hard. So,
Absolutely.
but anyway.
Well, groovy, man. We just in here, wanted to stop by, check in with y'all.
Yes.
See how everyone was doing, man.
It's hot as heck outside, man.
It's
Us
been hot.
Seattleites are not used to 95-degree weather. It's been burning up.
It's been great. The 4th of July was awesome. We slept outside twice.
3 times.
3 times. Yeah,
It was
you're right.
wonderful.
I blacked one out because it just...
Why? Which one did you black
It's
out?
the one where we heard the cat, I think, getting killed by a wild animal. It was like... I was like, I felt that way because I started getting nervous. No, here's the thing.
So loud. It was so loud.
I know black people camp. I get that. But like when you're outside camping with your family.
This is like at my parents' house on their deck.
I thought I was for sure. It was like the scary movie. I'm the first black guy killed in this movie. I'm going to get killed. I'm right next to where someone's going to come in and I will be dead when you guys find me in the morning. Yeah, I was like, what is going on here?
But you know what's funny is that Ashley said that Charlie, so our nephew, got his wisdom teeth taken out on the 5th. And it was that night that we were sleeping out there. I don't know, something. He was like totally on his medications, and he got up out of bed to look out his window to see if he saw this cat. We looked, I think my sister wanted to look out. She looked out the window too. We swear we were going to see kittens. It was like either dying or in labor.
Here's the thing.
And it just stopped.
He looked out his window. My head went under the covers. like this to hide, because I'm like, if they see me, they're coming for me first.
It was the topic of conversation at breakfast. Yeah. It was like, oh my gosh. Everyone was worried about the dogs barking, and this cat was on a whole nother level, man.
Yeah.
That was
Hopefully
funny.
the cat was safe. I felt bad for the cat.
No one checked. No one looked.
I wasn't going over there. I'm not going. If you're looking for a volunteer, it's not me.
my.
I'm sorry, cat. I mean, survival of the fittest. I personally don't think the cat made it. It didn't sound like the cat was giving birth.
It just ended though. It wasn't even like a whimper at the end. It just was like donezo.
Because when you're getting
felt
eaten
like it was
and you're losing life, it's not like you have a signal that there's a last breath. It's just you're done. You've been swallowed into whatever animal's stomach you're
And
in.
we were all outside. There was like
I know.
4. It was my sister, her husband, all the girls. So there are 5 young little ones, and then us 2. And you were on the very end.
I was on the very end.
But you were at least not closer. Like Alfonso was on that side. I don't remember Alfonso's commenting on it.
There was an echo. You don't know where it was coming from. You had no idea where it was coming from. You can't be like, oh, he was closer to, like, you don't know where the killer was. Like, I don't know where the animal killer was. Like, I had no idea. But I was terrified. Okay? And I'm not camping again this year because of it.
And you hate cats, and you're like,
I'm terrified. Listen,
God.
I don't hate cats, dude. When you were attacked,
Yes, you
I was attacked in 7th grade by an orange cat, and I'm still going to therapy for that. You know?
My God, that's funny.
Orange. It just, for whatever reason, it decided to attack me. So it is what it is. But yeah, we had a great 4th of July.
You're slobbering, and I'm like snot coming out of my nose. That was really funny.
I didn't
Oh
slobber.
my God. Yes, you did.
Well, I did not. I think it was
you have excess mouth juices anyway, so you just have to be careful.
What? What is excess mouth juices?
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know this. Every person, I can only speak from the male perspective. I feel like we as men are so judged when we're eating around our wives. And so we get labeled with stuff like that. Like, you have excess mouth juices. You're always like, Jeremy, it sounds like this.
It does. At least you know what it sounds like.
No, I'm like, I'm eating my sandwich.
You're going to replay this,
babe.
and you're going to hear it.
No, I'm eating my sandwich, and I would appreciate it if you didn't judge. You know what? I'm turning around when I eat, because I just got to turn around. Are you judging me now? Can you see me?
I would appreciate if you
I can still hear you. I'm like, dang.
Awful. I'm just not a mouth person.
No, I just think that a lot of times, as wives,
I'm being judgmental.
You guys are just
Babe, it's like
you're hypersensitive to male noises. I don't get it.
And then I look over at you, and your mouth is wide open.
No. What if as husbands we were like, like that noise you make really annoys me. I don't think we say stuff like that out of fear to get in trouble.
You nag in your own type of ways.
I don't know.
Please.
Yeah. So there's the male nagging and the female nagging. Just the partner nagging.
But I cannot be the only one. It's mouth noises.
You're not the only one.
Mouth noises
I hear wives
to
talk
me
about this all
is
the time.
as bad as toe jam. It is. It is. It's disgusting.
Listen,
And then you're training our daughters, and it's like they're all doing it, and I have to yell at them.
it's called eating, right? And you have to do that to survive.
You can eat with your mouth closed.
Listen, people.
Unless your nose is stuffed up. And I know your nose isn't stuffed up.
It's just crazy. Been married 11 years, man.
Yeah, our anniversary's in 2 weeks.
And
Love ya.
I'm getting judged on how I eat. Yeah.
I mean, that's
I
never
love you
changed.
too. It never will change.
No, because you're not learning.
You're not learning. Please keep your mouth closed. I know, but it'll be good. Well,
all right.
We about to tune up out of here.
Yeah, we got to go get the girls.
Got to go get the girls, go back to work. I'm Dr. Jeremy Cross.
And I'm Dr. Allie Cross.
And this is Footprints to Blueprints.
Have a good day, y'all.
Gonna make the world a better place. Gonna make it home.